What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. All right, so let me just say this, because I mean we can talk about this until the new year come in, and people still are going to be in their feelings, which I don't understand. That I can't relate to that, and they're still going to make up excuses and lies on top of that. Now let me just say this. We're talking about Shakur Stevenson right now. I gotta call bullshit on something that Shakur Stevenson said. I can care less if you like Shakur, if you like Devin Haney, if you like both of them, if you hate both of them. This has nothing to do with who I like, who you like. I don't care. I'm not catering to you. I'm going to say exactly what the fuck it is I need to say. Shakur Stevenson is not being honest about what he said. Okay? You can't run your mouth and then forget that there's receipts. Shakur Stevenson said on this show, I think it's called $1 million worth of game or something like that, and he basically was asked a question of, he was told that they said they offered him $8 million, 25%. He goes, no, that's not. Well, that's true. They did offer me 25%. After he denied it, then he said, no, they did. Then he says, he denied the $8 million. But then when they did the math, well, you'd be getting $8 million. Haney would be getting $24 million. He's saying, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. How he gonna get $24 million and I'm only gonna get 8? Like, nah. Then he turns around. This is all in the same fucking cast show. And so, I mean, shit, if he want to give me $8 million, shit, we can fight right now. Like $8 million? You just agreed that he offered you 25%. And then you agreed that, yeah, it was $8 million, but he'd be getting $24 million. This is fucking Shakur Stevenson's words. Yeah, you got people sitting there, yo, I'm glad Shakur went at Haney and exposed this fraud. And it's like, what did he expose? This is what I mean about fanboy shit. And this is why some of this shit, when I respond to it, I gotta force myself to even do some of these videos. Because this shit is so lame. Listen. Devin Haney has been to Australia twice and let George Kambosos take the lion's share of the money just for the sake of making it happen. He gave him all his bullshit terms. Both fights. How you think that make a fighter feel? Even in the rematch, after I beat your ass convincingly, on top of that, I'm still getting less money even in the rematch. And going to your country, having to travel and do all that. Still did it. All right? He ate that one. Now, all of a sudden, y'all don't think Devin Haney's going to say, fuck this, man. I still made good money, but I took the short end. And I won both fights. Now here comes Shakur Stevenson. See, here's the deal. What you accomplished at 130 has nothing to do with 135. That was great. That's another chapter in your life. Going to 135 is another chapter, a new chapter. Shakur is going in here with the ego of, man, shit, you see what I did at 130? Nah, man, this is Leonard versus Hearns. This is Spence versus Crawford. This is how he's looking at this. I deserve more. Look, Shakur Stevenson is no big star. Devin Haney's stock has grown and risen far more than Shakur's has. What the fuck you did at 130? Are you holding these belts right now? Is this for undisputed? Is this like, you understand, like your belts versus his? No, that's not what this is. But even in that, okay, you denied, then agreed, and then admitted that that's what they did, then turned around and said pretty much you feel like it should have been. See, he wants 50-50. That's what Shakur wants. Okay? Then he's saying Devin Haney didn't really want to fight him. Devin Haney only made that offer because he knew he was going to decline it. What you mean? You turned around and said that you wouldn't take it. Then you said you would take it for $8 million. Hell yeah. But you said they didn't offer you that. But then you said, well, they did offer me 25%. Yeah, $8 million. That's Shakur's words. His own fucking words. And I'm like, how the fuck are y'all sitting here watching this? Are y'all like all brain dead? Like, do y'all not hear what this man is saying? But then he's calling Frank Martin the pussy and the bitch and this and this. And yeah, like I said in the last video, it was different in the sense that they already agreed and it had a set date and everything. But at the same time, it's like, you say one thing, then you say something completely different. And we got receipts. So what's so hard about watching the video and going, yeah, he did say that. He definitely did. And he said that and that and that. Yeah, he did. He said all of it. All right, y'all. Lomachenko turned down the fight with Shakur Stevenson, according to Shakur Stevenson, right? He don't have too much to say about Loma, though. So let me say this. For Shakur Stevenson, for Devin Haney, for Tank Davis, for, Errol Spence, a Jamal Charlo, a Canelo, a Terrence Crawford, these guys all need the dance partner, the right dance partner to generate huge, like way more money, right, than they're already making. When you get to the point where you want to be so petty to everybody want to be the A side, everybody want to be that guy. If you're going off popularity's sake, well, Terrence Crawford now has more popularity after what he did to Errol Spence. But he still has a long way to go to be on that same level as Canelo in terms of popularity and being, like, even for people that feels Terrence Crawford is pound for pound. See, I don't care about all these titles. Gervonta Tank Davis is the face of boxing. Terrence Crawford is pound for pound the best fighter in boxing. Oh, Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing. I mean, all these opinions, look, all this shit don't mean nothing. What it comes down to is this. If you want the fight for legacy just as much as you want the big payday, y'all can make this shit happen. When it gets to the point where it's either this or nothing, then what what is it that you expect? And this is why when fighters get to that point where they're saying nobody wants to fight me, but then and they complain and saying I'm a fighter for real, they always big themselves up and talk about how I was born to do this. But then when they get to that bracket, I keep telling you guys, I said this shit over and over last year, the year before that. These fighters are all about the money. They're hungry before they start making that big money. Once they get to the point where they're making that really big money, that hunger is not the same anymore. And they end up in a situation where instead of them fighting the best fighters there is, it's like, let's go after the more popular fighters, because you can be more popular but not as dangerous. So they don't want the high risk, low reward fights. Devin Haney is set to fight Regis Prograis. What's the date? December 9th or something like that? Or whatever it is, right? Whatever the date is. Is he supposed to cancel his fight to go fight Shakur? Okay, so when they offered Shakur, he didn't want it. But now all of a sudden, he wants to constantly talk about it. Shakur's starting to look like he's obsessed with Devin Haney. Because this dude is going from talk show to talk show to talk show. And they keep talking about this same exact thing. And it's like, Shakur, fight somebody else. Whoop that ass. See how things play out with Haney. Is he coming back down to 135? Is he staying at 140? And just strategically make your moves. But you need to be active and you need to be in there fighting. And then he turned around and said they offer him less money than he made in his last 3 fights. So you telling me that Shakur Stevenson made more than $8 million in his last 3 fights? Do y'all really think that that's what he was making? So if he made more than 8, what did he make? 9, 10? What? 8.5? What? Do y'all really think he made that much money? Come on, bro. Come on. And if he had a number, you don't think he'd have gave that number? You don't think he would have said, I made $10 million each fight that I had my last 3 fights, and this dude is offering me 8? That's less than, okay, he didn't give you a number. He didn't even know the math, because he was saying, well, so he getting 32 million? And the guy told him, he said, nah, 24. Oh, smart man. He didn't even know how much was what. He didn't even know what the split was. But he agreed, yeah, they did offer me 24. Okay. Then you say for 8 million, you take the fight. But you know he's locked in with Regis Prograde now. See, this is the shit that I be talking about. Like, y'all say this stuff, then y'all turn around and deny it. But it's like, bro, you already said it. It's on video. Just own that shit, man. Don't run around here looking like Michaela Mayer 2.0, where she cannot have a conversation without bringing up Alicia Baumgartner's name. Even with the suspension shit, everything. Oh, she cheated when we fought. Oh, that's why she was so strong. Now all of them have the same exact story. Everybody wants to start talking about steroids and this and making the claims. You don't know, right? Right? So, but now all of a sudden she did this and all these other fights, and it's based on what? Michaela Mayer sounds stupid because she said that none of Alicia Baumgartner punches hurt her. But she jumped on that same bandwagon as Leonardo too, talking about, yeah, she punched exceptionally hard. Oh, so now she punched exceptionally hard, but her punches didn't hurt you. I mean, you know, people just say shit. And since then, what has Michaela Mayer done? This is what I mean with these fighters, man. We watched Gary Russell for years walk around here calling out Terrence Crawford, everybody else that's not in his division, lost his belt, and he's still talking. When the fuck is he fighting somebody? You understand? Like, this is what boxing has become. Let's act like some little scared, little pissed off PMS bitches and just complain and argue and make up lies and excuses. This is what you see. I gotta be real and raw to the fucking point on this shit. This is what you see. You can't fucking sit here and say they didn't offer me 8 million, that's bullshit, but then say, no, they did offer me 25%, then realize, well, yeah, it was 8 million. And that was less than what you made in your last 3? Jamel Herring, Oscar Valdez, and who? Come on, man, stop. You didn't make more than no damn 8 million. You didn't make more than no damn 8 million. By the time a fighter starts making $10 million, his fan base is much bigger than yours, and his popularity is much more than what Shakur Stevenson has. Stop it. Stop it. And he can't give you a number. And this is the thing that see, it's not about trying to find fault. It's just we listen to what you say and do, and it doesn't add up because you're contradicting yourself. So point blank, if you feel like you got a lowball offer, and then you're going to say, yeah, but I was a champion, Frank Martin wasn't, I give you that. I give you that. But here's the reality, though. Do you think Frank Martin is going to look at that shit the way you looking at it? So now we're not going to get fights, and it's been this way for a while now, based on, nope, you got to pay me more, even though it's more money than you're ever going to make. Well, more money than you have already made, put it that way. You know, but just saying, when I hear this shit, it's like, this is going to constantly be the excuse. Everything that we despised about this new wave nonsense where nobody wants to fight nobody because he making $2 more than me, it becomes normal to the generations coming up, and they don't see anything wrong with it. They don't. So now everybody wants to be a superstar. Everybody wants more than what they're worth. Everybody put themselves up on a fucking pedestal. And here now you're thinking, what I did at 130. What the fuck that got to do with you fighting against Devin? And for the fanboys sitting up here, like I said, talking shit, but yet, y'all didn't think that was fucked up what George Kambosos did with Devin Haney? With that bullshit, horrible bargain that he gave him? So yeah, and like I told you, now when Devin Haney come and do the same thing and tell a person, nah, this is gonna be my terms. And you wanna know what? This is why you can't knock a guy. See, I commend Devin Haney for taking them 2 fights with George Kambosos under them bullshit conditions, because that was dirty. Look at what happened with Deontay Wilder and Fury. Verbal agreement, and then Fury decided he wants to try to stiff Wilder, right? Okay, Andy Ruiz was a last-minute placement for Big Pharmacy Miller. He was all humble and gracious, and you know, but then when he beat Anthony Joshua, he started trying to get cocky and arrogant and talking shit, and just everything about him changed. Then he got his ass whooped in a rematch. Now he's out here begging Deontay Wilder for a fight now. Yet, that should be the fight, because they both won, and the thing is, Andy had to fight 2 title eliminators. Deontay fought one. And Robert Helenius. Andy fought Chris Arreola and Luis Ortiz. And now he's out here trying to get a fight with a guy who was supposed to be the next fight. I told you guys, that fight may not necessarily happen either. Wilder was counting on Luis Ortiz to win that fight, and by now, it would have been Wilder versus Luis Ortiz 3. That would have been happening already. And that's not what happened. So, I mean, think about it. So, all of this shit is, when somebody's gracious to you, I mean, look, remember the Red Hoodie Spence video, right? And he was talking a lot of shit, you know, talking about go get a belt, then we can do something. You ain't did nothing, okay. You know, Crawford went and got a belt, and then he came up with the whole, why not take the easy route and go fight Sean Porter? Right? He did that. Okay. Bottom line, everything that happened, you can't bring that up. You know why you can't bring that shit up? And say, but look how he made, how he did Crawford. No, because you know why? Every time somebody asked Crawford and Spence, and the build up to the fight, after it was signed, sealed, and all but delivered, you know what they both said when they were asked that question? How come it took so long to make this fight? They're like, it don't matter. It's here now. You understand? So all that put aside, fuck everything that happened. So you can't bring that shit up now. That's some sissy soft bullshit. That's punk shit. Bottom line, he gave Crawford everything he wanted for the sake of making this fight happen. But now in return, now we're hearing Crawford is saying 147 or nothing at all. Okay. That's what happens when you be Mr. Nice Guy. You understand what I'm saying? Look at the respect AJ was showing Andy. He's holding the belt. Ruiz is holding the other side of the belt. Showing him respect as, hey, the belts are up in the air. I got to win. Even though I'm champion, fight night, you got to win your championship. You understand? But just saying, was Andy talking that way about him? Not after he beat him. Before, yeah. Not after. So, long story short, man, it comes down to, you know, when you are trying to be fair and you want, look at what Fury's doing. He's penny pinching with everybody. But the problem with Fury is he's lying about why the fights are not happening. But the fact that these fighters are being so greedy and stingy is because, let's be real, I don't give a fuck if you like how much you like Crawford or Errol Spence or don't like them. I don't care. The point is, look at what Fury's doing. Fury's like, nah, fuck that. I'm taking everything, man. You gonna take the crumbs. I'm gonna take the cake. You get the crumbs, right? So look at what he does. But now look at what Terrence Crawford is doing in return. He's not giving Errol Spence that same graciousness to say, nah, you know what? Now he said in the post conference, you know, Spence gave me the opportunity, man, and yeah, you know, I was struggling to make weight too at 147, so 154 is definitely doable. Like, but yet he's staying at 147. So it's obviously that even if the weight bothers him, it's not bothering him like it does Spence. And regardless, he admitted everything about Spence being gracious and giving him the opportunity. But it's just that, nope, I'm not going to fight you at 154. 147 or nothing. So like I said, then what's the purpose of the rematch then? What's the purpose? And if you didn't think the weight meant anything in draining Spence, why would you give a fuck if it was 154 or 147? Especially when you're willing to go all the way up to 168 and fight Canelo and Jamel Charlo. But you see how people who talk about fair play not bringing that shit up. And listen, I don't give a fuck what happens. It's not my career, it's theirs. All I'm saying is, for you to be gracious and say you're gracious, acknowledge the fact that Spence was gracious to you, and he's not giving Spence that same in return. So no, he's not doing anything wrong, like I said in the last video. But morally, it's like, nah, that shit is wrong. Because that man didn't have to fight you. He could have said, man, look, you asking for too much. He gave this man 50-50, and that man had 3 belts to his 1. AJ was willing to give Tyson Fury 50-50 just for the sake of making it happen when he had 3 belts to his 1. Okay? The ending results are the ending results, but until it happens, no, fuck that. So my point is, why was it okay for George Kambosos to do that to Haney? But yet you got guys like AJ and like Spence giving guys 50-50 when pretty much, you know, they were in the same situation. We got 3 belts to your 1. I don't care about all that other franchise bullshit. I don't care about ring. I don't care about none of that other shit. You don't need none of those. All I care about is the 4 belts that you need to be undisputed. And that's what I'm saying. When you see this happening, this is what it is now. So for a guy like Shakur Stevenson, well, if Loma turns you down and Devin Haney is not available right now, if Devin Haney decides that he's going to come back to 135, and this is one thing I've been saying, and people could act stupid all they want. Everybody agrees when Devin Haney makes weight for 135, that night, man, he looks like a fucking skeleton. You can see the skeleton in his face. He looks like a damn cancer patient. Seriously, he look like a damn AIDS patient, man, when he cuts weight, because he's outgrown that division. And y'all said the same thing when he was standing next to Loma, talk about how, nah, man, he's a weight bully. Oh, now he's a weight bully, but now he's running from Shakur. He's outgrown 135, but because Shakur's talking shit and y'all Shakur fans and y'all don't like Devin, now all of a sudden he's running from Shakur. I mean, y'all play these stupid games. My thing is this, right? Shakur Stevenson is big enough to go to 140, probably even 147. Does he fight for any vacant belts? If Haney decides to go up and try to unify 135, or does he go up to 140? I don't know. Does he stop at 135 first, then go? I don't know. But it's just the type of shit where if you look at what's going on all around with all of this, I want this amount, I want that amount. This is one of the major reasons that a lot of these fights are not happening and why these fights are being delayed and pushed back so much. You know, while we got people talking about Haney versus Tank Davis and then the next week, Terrence Crawford versus Tank Davis, and people are all over the place with this fantasy shit. What I say about Shakur is the dude is a hell of a fighter, but he says shit, man, and he contradicts himself. And, you know, when you see it, you're going to act like, or try to, oh, well, what he said was such and such, but what he meant was, no, I'm going by what you said. Not what I want to pretend you said. No, what you actually said. That's what I go by. Okay? And just listening to it all, man, it's just like, man, look, y'all guys see, this is the problem with fanboys, man. This is why we need boxing fans, not boxer fans, because at the end of the day, you got all of this, oh, fuck that nigga Shakur. Oh, fuck that bitch-ass nigga Devin Haney. Y'all, man, fuck that, man. These niggas is this, these niggas is that. Oh, the Haney's some bitches, because Regis Prograis says it, right? All right. I got a question, too. This is really a rhetorical question. What happens Devin Haney goes in there and completely outclass and embarrass Regis Prograis? Then what y'all gonna say then? Because after that last Regis Prograis performance, everybody said Devin Haney will wipe the floor with him. But after the Loma fight, y'all said Devin Haney wasn't shit. I mean, yeah, he went the distance with Loma, but he ain't shit. So Loma, what does that make Loma? If Loma went the distance with a guy that wasn't shit, what does that say? And he didn't run from him, he's still right in front of him. So what does that say about Loma? But then all of a sudden, without Devin Haney even getting in the ring, doing anything else, fighting anyone else, he'll destroy Regis Prograis. Listen, when I told you guys before, the 140 division was stacked with entertaining fights and fighters that can fight. But in terms of pound for pound, their skill level, 140 didn't have a bunch of standout superstars. And basically, one of the top guys at 140 was who? Josh Taylor. We see what Teofimo Lopez did to him. You understand? So this is why I said, now you see my point when I said it's a travesty that the 135 division fell apart like it did. So you take all the top 5 guys right now, take the top guys at 140, and just compare them to Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, you know, Tank Davis. Them dudes, there's no comparison. And Shakur wasn't there yet. He was at 130, but that's not a comparison. These dudes are just way better than those guys. So, yeah. Now, if Regis Prograis step up and he looks better than he did in that last fight, and he actually, you know, whatever. Bottom line, if Devin Haney wins this fight, and he should, but if he wins this fight, now Regis got power. He always had power. Okay, but Devin Haney's a slick, sharp fighter. But bottom line is, he beats him, his stock goes up even more. What bargaining chips is Shakur gonna have that he doesn't already have now? Like what is he doing? So Shakur needs to get there and fight somebody that's worthy. Not go just fight just to stay busy fight. No. Add to your legacy. You need to fight somebody that's worthy. And guess what? At some point, you and Haney gonna cross paths. But just tell the truth, man. Oh yeah, just tell the truth. Y'all seen the same videos, man. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. I like Shakur as a fighter. I got him on the pound for pound list in terms of his skill level. And dude's a problem. I got Haney, same thing. He's a problem. Tank Davis, he's a problem. Inoue, he's a problem. All right? These dudes are problems. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I didn't hear what you said. And that's what other people do because they're fans. I'm simply calling it like I see it, and I'm going by what comes out of your mouth. There's no misunderstanding, no misconception. You're saying one thing, then you're saying something completely different in the same fucking interview. So, you know, I'm really getting tired of talking about this shit with these guys, man. But it's just like, the fuck, man. Everybody just keep making up stories and choosing sides and just making up lies. Tell the shit the way it actually happens. Simple. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.